Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's What's for Dinner video, I'll be sharing with you what meals we had this past week. Our dinners were easy to make, budget friendly, and delicious. So if you'd like some weeknight meal ideas for your family, just keep watching. For dinner this first night, I made teriyaki chicken sandwiches. These were so delicious and super easy. Here's what I used. So I had a few sesame seed hamburger buns left over that I needed to use up. So I am going to use those. I have some Swiss cheese, iceberg lettuce, tomato, and then pineapple slices. For teriyaki sauce, really you can use whatever kind of teriyaki sauce you prefer. I would suggest though using a thicker sauce. You know, some teriyaki sauces can double as marinades and so they're pretty thin. For the sandwich, again, I'd suggest a thicker sauce, but really you can use whatever you prefer. We like this Sweet Baby Ray's. And to go along with this, I just dug around in my freezer. I thought I had some sweet potato fries that I needed to use up, but I couldn't find them. But I did have some of these Checkers fries. Going to Checkers and getting these fresh, they are so good. They are my favorite fast food fries. They're not bad though when you make them at home in the air fryer, which is how I'm going to make them tonight. I cooked them at 400 degrees for about 7 or 8 minutes, gave the air fryer basket a little toss, and then cooked it for another maybe 5 to 7 minutes. Here I have a couple of chicken cutlets. I've got a little bit of olive oil and butter in this skillet. It's over about medium heat. I'm going to season both sides of the chicken. You can use whatever seasonings you'd like. I'm going to use some Cavender's and Badia Complete or Badia Complete. I'm going to cook the chicken for about 5 to 6 minutes on one side, give it a flip, cook it another 5 to 6 minutes on the second side. You want to cook this until it's at least 165 degrees internal temperature. During the last probably minute or so of cooking, I did brush both sides of the chicken breast with some of the teriyaki sauce and then added a slice of the Swiss cheese. To serve these up, I added a little bit of mayonnaise to the hamburger buns, added the teriyaki glazed chicken breast with the Swiss cheese, and then some of the lettuce and tomato. Then we've got some of the fries, and then I wasn't super hungry this day, so I didn't have any watermelon, but I served my husband up some cubed watermelon. So easy, and this was a super, super yummy dinner. For dinner this next night, we were finally celebrating my husband's birthday and Mother's Day. So my husband's birthday was almost a month ago, but as soon as we got back from going out of town for his birthday, we both came down with COVID and we'd been sick the past few weeks with that. And so, of course, we weren't able to celebrate Mother's Day either. So we went over to my mom and dad's and had dinner with them and my siblings. It was delicious. We had steaks. My dad uses, I think it's called the reverse sear method. So he cooks these steaks kind of low and slow in the oven, and then he sears them off either in a hot cast iron skillet or in this case on the grill. So we had that, and then we made some sauteed shrimp. We had baked potato bar, so we had regular russet potatoes and sweet potatoes and all the fixins. And then I forgot to take a picture of my salad, but we also have like a salad bar. So we had salad and all the fixins and different dressings and stuff like that. So incredibly delicious. Now for my husband's birthday dessert, he wanted a chocolate cake. I was going to make one from scratch, but still wasn't feeling that great. So I just ordered one from Publix. This is their chocolate ganache cake. It is delicious. It's super rich, but it is so, so good. So that was our dinner this night. It was really, really delicious. Food was good. The cake was good. And it was really nice to visit with family and celebrate my husband's birthday and Mother's Day. Dinner the next night was off meal plan, but I'd had a super busy day and wanted something easy. So here's what I did. First, I'm going to cook up a box of just Kraft macaroni and cheese. We like the cauliflower pasta. And then I'm going to cook up some of these Tyson chicken strips. I'm going to cook these in the air fryer at 400 degrees for about 7 or 8 minutes, give them a flip and cook them for another 7 or 8 minutes until they're crispy. While dinner was cooking, my husband asked if we happened to have the stuff on hand to make his chicken tenders into wraps. So I dug around in my fridge, and sure enough, I found some odds and ends. So I made him like a buffalo chicken wrap. We had some of this Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo wing sauce, just a little bit of this Marzetti blue cheese sauce, a little piece of tomato that I just chopped up. I've got some chopped lettuce and some shredded cheddar cheese. So here are those chicken tenders. Once they were done, I took a couple and placed them into a bowl and kind of tossed them in some of the buffalo sauce for my husband. Here is the macaroni and cheese. I cooked it according to the package instructions, and right before it was done, I did add in a slice of American cheese. Here are the finished plates. So for me, I just had the chicken tenders with some of the Ken's honey mustard dressing to dip it in, and the macaroni and cheese. For my husband, I took some tortillas. I wish I had larger tortillas. All I had, though, were like taco size, but it still turned out just fine. But I warmed the tortillas up in the microwave. I added the buffalo tossed chicken strips. I drizzled on some of that blue cheese sauce, added some of the shredded cheese, the lettuce, and the tomato, and that was it. This was our dinner. This was yummy. It's really, really simple, I know, just boxed macaroni and cheese and chicken tenders, but you know what? I didn't feel like cooking, and this was perfect, and it was yummy. For dinner the next night, I tried a new recipe for BBQ Ranch Chicken. This is from the plain chicken. I'll have the recipe linked in the description box below, but it's so incredibly easy. You really don't even need a recipe. Let me show you how to make it. This is really 3 ingredients. You need barbecue sauce, use your favorite bottled, you could also use homemade, and then you need ranch dressing again. Use your favorite bottled. I have some homemade. This is just the Hidden Valley Ranch packet with some water and mayonnaise. It was in my fridge and I needed to use it up, so this was perfect. You're going to combine basically equal parts of barbecue sauce and ranch dressing. You're going to add it to a Ziploc bag, add some chicken, and then place it into the refrigerator to marinate. I did it overnight. You could do it for as little as maybe 30 minutes to an hour, but the longer you let it marinate, the better it is going to be. For one of my sides, I'm making Donna's corn salad. Donna is a really good friend of my mom's. I'll have her recipe in my description box below typed out. I apologize. There are no amounts. Donna didn't give me any amounts in her recipe, so I just eyeball it. You will need some diced cucumber, diced tomato, some diced bell pepper. Now, I don't prefer green bell pepper for most things, so I'm using a red. Just use whatever you prefer, what you've got on hand. Some chopped green onions, mayonnaise, some Shoepeg corn that we are going to drain, and then Donna's recipe calls for garlic salt, so I do add a little bit of that, but I feel like garlic salt can get overpowering really quick, so I like to add just a little bit of the garlic salt and then garlic powder. In my bowl here, I have the drained corn, the chopped up vegetables, the garlic powder, garlic salt, and I'm going to add in a little bit of mayonnaise, stir it until it's well combined, and then I like to place this into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes before I serve it. Now, do keep in mind with all of the vegetables, this can get pretty liquidy, so this isn't necessarily something that I would make the day before. I would make it, the same day within a couple hours of when you plan on serving it. I mean, it's still fine, just keep in mind it may get a little watery. Now, right before I serve this, I decided to add just a little sprinkle of this Auntie Nona's everything seasoning, so I added that and stirred it, and then that was it. That was the salad. For my second side, I had just a few little jalapeno peppers that I really needed to use up, and in this whipped cream cheese little tub, I have like maybe 2 ounces of cream cheese that I needed to use up, so I thought, hey, I'll make some grilled jalapeno poppers. Now, I didn't really use a recipe for this. I just eyeballed everything, but here's what I'm going to use. So, like I said, I have some of the jalapenos, the cream cheese, some shredded cheddar cheese, some crumbled bacon, and then for seasonings, use whatever seasonings you like. I'm going to use some dry ranch dressing mix, smoked paprika, and garlic powder. For the jalapenos, I sliced them in half and removed the seeds and membranes, and then I wash my hands really, really well. If you have never worked with peppers before, you want to make sure that as soon as you handle the peppers, you wash your hands really well before you touch your eyes, your nose, or your mouth. If you forget, you will regret it. I speak from experience, so just be sure to do that. You can also wear gloves if you would prefer to do that. Now, the filling is really easy. I'm just going to take the softened cream cheese and add the remaining ingredients. So add the crumbled bacon, the shredded cheddar cheese, and my spices. I'm going to mix that until it's combined really well, give it a taste, and then adjust the seasonings. And a quick note here, if you don't want to use the crumbled bacon, you can do bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. I don't prefer to do that though, just a personal preference. I like my bacon crispy, and I feel like when I do the bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers, the bacon never gets as crispy as what I like my bacon to be. So once that cream cheese mixture is combined all the way, I'm going to stuff my jalapenos. And then I decided to just cook these on the grill. You can do these in the oven or the air fryer, but I was already going to grill the chicken. So here's the chicken and the jalapeno poppers on the grill. I just cooked the jalapenos for I think it was about 7 or 8 minutes on medium heat. The chicken I cooked on medium heat for about 5 or 6 minutes on each side. Just cook it until it's 165 degrees internal temperature. Here's the finished chicken. I did allow it to rest for about 5 minutes before I served it. And then we've got the jalapeno poppers and the corn salad. Next, I'll show you our plates. All right, here's everything served up. So we have the chicken, the jalapeno poppers, the corn salad. This was so incredibly delicious. That chicken had such good flavor. And I'm sorry, I totally forgot to mention this. Right before I put the chicken on the grill, I did season it with some of the Kinder's barbecue seasoning on both sides. You don't have to do that, but I just thought it would give it a little extra flavor. But that chicken and the corn salad and those jalapenos were delicious. The perfect spring summer meal. I had a ham steak in my freezer that I really needed to use up, so I decided to try a new recipe for air fryer ham steak. I saw this on Taylor Elmore's channel. I'll have it linked in the description box below. In my pantry, I have about a half a box of cornflakes that I really need to start working through, so I decided to make a hash brown casserole. I think I've shared this before on my channel. Normally when I make hash brown casserole, I don't make the cornflake topping, but either way is delicious. For the hash brown casserole, I'll of course need hash browns. Today I'm using diced hash browns. You can use shredded. You can also use the O'Brien hash browns that have the onion and bell pepper. For the cheese, I have some shredded cheddar cheese. It's what I normally use, but I also have a little piece of the cheddar, Colby Jack cheese on hand, along with some sliced Colby Jack and Fontina cheese. This is left over from a charcuterie board that we did. I just placed the slices of cheese into my little hand crank cheese grater and shredded that up. I'm going to use that first, and then if I still need the cheddar, I'll use that. I also need some sour cream, a can of cream of chicken soup, some salt and pepper, diced onion, and butter. And then, of course, the cornflakes, I'm going to put some in a Ziploc bag and crush them up. Now with the hash brown casserole, a lot of people will just melt the butter and add the onion straight in. I feel like the onion's a little too crunchy for me. I like to cook the onion before. A lot of times I'll place the butter in a little skillet, dice up the onion, and cook the onion in the butter for just a few minutes until it gets tender. Sometimes, if I'm being lazy, like I was being lazy today, I will take the butter and the chopped onions, place it into a microwave, and cook it for maybe 45 seconds or a minute and a half tops until the butter is melted and the onions get tender. So once I've done that, I'm just going to basically add everything else. So I'm going to add in my can of cream of chicken soup, the sour cream, my cheese, the salt and pepper. I'm going to stir that until it's combined really well, and then add in the hash browns, and then that will be ready to go into the oven. Once that's mixed together really well, I'm going to set that to the side and bring my greased casserole dish forward. I'm going to add my hash brown mixture and spread that out. Now, at this point, if you're not doing the cornflake mixture, I would just add another layer of shredded cheddar cheese to the top, place this into the oven. For the cornflakes, I'm going to place some butter into a bowl, place that into the microwave until the butter's melted, and then add in my crushed cornflakes. I'm then going to sprinkle the buttered cornflakes on top of the casserole, and then this is going to go into a preheated oven set at 350 degrees and bake for about 45 minutes. For the ham steak, I'm going to take the butter and place it into a small bowl, pop it into the microwave until the butter's melted, and then I'm going to whisk in the brown sugar. For the ham steak, I bought this, a few months ago. It's been in my freezer, so I just pulled it out and let it thaw. While I was digging around in my refrigerator, though, I found this little baggie that had some pineapple slices in it. These were left over from our teriyaki chicken sandwiches the other day, so I figured that it wouldn't hurt to cook them with the ham. Now, there was a bone in the middle of my ham steak. I cut it out because, one, it's inedible, but two, that way the ham steak would fit in my air fryer basket a little easier. I'm going to brush the top side of the ham steak with that butter brown sugar mixture, and then this is going to go into the air fryer at 375 degrees for 6 minutes. I removed the basket after 6 minutes, flipped the ham steak over. There was quite a bit of liquid in the air fryer basket, so I just dumped out that liquid. I brushed the top side of the steak with some of that glaze and then added a couple slices of pineapple and placed this back into the air fryer for another 6 minutes. And here's that finished ham along with the hash brown casserole. And then for my other side, I made Mandy in the Makings green beans. I know I've mentioned this so many times before on my channel, but these are delicious. If you still have not tried them, you've got to give them a try. All right, here are the finished plates. This was incredibly delicious, so comforting, just yummy. And we had tons of leftovers. So we had some of the hash brown casserole for breakfast for the next few days. So good. So for the next night for dinner, my husband came to me and he said, okay, I'm just going to be straightforward because, we're working on communicating and just saying what we want or saying what we need and being outright instead of expecting the other person to know or dropping hints or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, shoot. And he said, you know what I really want to do tonight? And I'm like, what? And he said, I just want to watch movies and order takeout and lay on the couch and be lazy. And I was like, you know what? That sounds perfect to me. So that's exactly what we did. Greek takeout just sounded really good to us. So we ordered it, ran and picked it up. We just got their mixed plate, which is gyro and chicken, gyro meat, chicken, rice, and salad and pita bread. This was delicious, and the portions are so huge. We even had leftovers for lunch the next day. For the last dinner in this week's video, we did leftovers. So my husband was at the gym this night. I warmed up some of the ham dinner leftovers for myself. So I've got some of the ham, the hash brown casserole, the green beans, and then a roll sounded good to me. So I took a Sister Schubert's roll and popped it into the air fryer. When he got home, I made him a sandwich. So I took some of the Italian bread from Lewis. I added some mayonnaise, mustard, Colby Jack cheese, lettuce, tomato, salami, and turkey. And then to go along with that, he ate the rest of Donna's corn salad from a few nights ago. And that was our dinner this night. It was great. We used up several leftovers and cleaned out the fridge. All right, that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that this gave you some dinner inspiration. Please hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.